All right, hi class. This video is going to be all about movement in Scratch. Um, I've set up my flying cat a little differently for this demo, but I wanted to make sure that everything was as clear as I could make it. So right now, let me just kind of go over some things. We have a number line on the screen. I know you're all familiar with number lines from mathematics class. Left to right, we have the X number line. If you look over here, X starts at minus 240 and it goes all the way across. In the middle, X is 0, and on the far right, X is 240. Now, starting back in the middle, we're going to talk about the Y number line. At the bottom, it's minus 180, and at the top, it's plus 180. So the screen that we're working in is a rectangle. So Y is top to bottom. It goes from 180 to minus 180, and X is left to right or horizontal. It goes minus 240 to positive 240. And in the middle, we have X is 0 and Y is 0. That's where they meet. Okay. Now in Scratch, things meet in the middle. In some other programs, they will meet up in the top corner. Just have that idea in your head that 0 could be in a different place if you move to another programming language. For now, all you need to worry about, though, is right here in the middle where X is 0 and Y is 0. So I have made an event to set my costume, go to where X is 0 and Y is 0, and point in direction 90, and then I'm going to update two variables, sprite Y and sprite X. In case you don't realize it, this cat here is a sprite. So all of your characters that you animate or game with, characters and objects, things that you apply code to, those are sprites. Potentially backdrops, but mostly you'll be doing that with sprites. So let's go ahead and press the green flag. And that moves my cat to 0, 0. X is 0, you can see it here. And Y is 0 there, right? And I also have set up these variables so that we can track where our cat is. So now I have an event for when you press the right arrow, when you press the left arrow, when you press the up arrow, and when you press the down arrow. Okay, so when I press the right arrow, you're going to see sprite X increase from 0, and we'll take him all the way over to 240. So that's 24 key presses for those of you counting. And now just press and hold, and he'll go way over there. I don't know where that odd digit came from. I'm going to click that back to 0, 0. So now we'll go up and down. So now I have something different. I have something going on here that you might have noticed. I have point in direction 0 on these, and I have point in direction 90 on these. I'll explain that in just a minute, but what it's going to do is make my cat face the positive Y direction. So I'll press up, and now he faces toward the positive numbers, and I'll walk him up to 180. When I press down, I go down to minus 180, and now I can go back up to 0, 0, and left and right arrow. So I think you have an idea of how this is working. So let's go to 90, 90. There. So now you have an idea of how the coordinates work, and how sprites relate to coordinates. So now let me talk about direction. I'm going to go ahead and press our green flag here to bring it back to 0. So the reason I have point in direction, let me click on this one now. So point in direction, a circle has 360 degrees. And right now my arrow is pointed to the right. That's 90 degrees. Up here, if you watch, that's 0, right? So that means point the sprite, make the sprite face the top, and that's what's going on over here. So If I did that, sprite faces that way. Let me see what happens if I put it over here. Oh, it looks the same. But let me see. Yeah, okay. So same there. So there we go. So now that's just setting our sprite. So setting our sprite to the way we want it to start. So if I were to, and the reason I did this, I really needed to do this for the up and down arrows, right? If I had left this pointing in direction 90, then when I press my up arrow, now it's going to move to the right because of the direction the sprite is facing. See, and that doesn't work, right? My down arrow still points to 0, but my up arrow points to 90. And so now it moves like that. And that's really confusing. So if I set that to 0, now I can just drive my character back to where I want it. Okay? So if you want your character to move up and down around the screen, you need to change the direction it points. Now you can also do this at angles, so I'll put it at 45, and I'll do it on both of these this time. So now watch what happens. Changes the direction of my sprite. And you can see my variables for sprite X and sprite Y getting some really wacky numbers in there with lots of small decimal points or decimal values. And that's how you can change things based on direction. So remember to look at the clock there, the circle diagram when you click in the point and direction variable. But the easiest thing is, you know, when your arrows are pressed, move a number of steps, okay? And if you want those steps to be any direction other than left and right, you're going to have to give it a point in direction command before it happens. So I think that pretty well covers movement. If you have any questions, message me, put them in the comments, get in touch with me somehow. If you're in my class, Teams is the best way. You can always email or chat with me. Reach out however you can, and I will be happy to hear from you. I miss you guys. I can't wait till we're actually back in the classroom. Good luck moving your sprites around, and I look forward to seeing your progress.